We have round 2 of a war with another coin shop, folks. We're going to let you know what happened with that one. Also, I talk about this one girl a lot. She got $1,000 bonus from her restaurant job. I'm going to let you know what she came in and got today. Again, I was supposed to have the day off. That never works to seem to plan out with any of my days off. I don't get a day off. It is what it is, they say. So please, like, share, and subscribe. Trying to get to 6,000 subscribers. Thank you for the support this morning. We are less than 82 subscribers away from 6,000 subscribers, folks. If you're not yet subscribed, trying to get to that before the end of the month. Help me out, please. It's free to join. Give me the thumbs up. Let's get into the video right now. Another war with the same coin shop with the gold, folks. This coin shop, not going to mention the coin shop's name, of course, but this guy's a jerk. Alright, I'm just going to put it out bluntly. He's a jerk. And I call him a jerk. And my owner even gave him some few choice words, which we won't put on the air, of course. He was out of gold again. Well, not completely out of gold. He was out of gold buffaloes. He comes in. He had eagles. He wanted to go for eagles. I said, no, we got plenty of eagles right now, I told him. And he says, well, what would you take? I says, I want 90% silver for my shop. That is what I want. You want the gold. I want the 90. I know you got the 90, but you won't give it up. Well, I don't want to give up any more 90% silver. That's my base source of income for the shop, blah, blah. You know, he's giving me all kinds of words. I said, well, this is your problem, bub. I says, you don't use the bullion dealer at all. You're only relying what comes into your shop. And I said, and that's really not the best way to run the business. So I'm not trying to tell you how to run your business, but I says, your problem is you don't have enough cash flow. Like I've said, folks, before, folks, when coin shops only use what comes through the door, that is not a good situation. That is not a best scenario sort of situation at all. Because you never know what's going to run next. You never know what you're going to have a surge next. And having a bullion dealer is probably one of the best ways for a coin shop to run. Now, I understand some coin shops don't do it that way. But they're taking their chance of what's coming into the door. They only have what's coming through the door. So, I told this guy, I says, hey, look, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I says, but I think you are. I says, he says, you calling me a jerk? I said, I just did. And I says, I said, if you want 2 gold buffaloes, I want $325 face of any 90% silver you want. I said, as long as variable dates on them, I says, I don't want calls. I'd rather have the dimes over anything else right now. I said, we're always run short on dimes. And, you know, of course, I didn't let him know we had $3,000 face. Plus, just right now. But, you know, he said, well, you got dimes in your tray. I said, well, we got dimes right now, but they, as you know, they don't last. So we're arguing back and forth. Then my owner gets in, and those 2 guys get into it. I'll leave it as that. At the end of the so-called screaming back and forth of each other, he goes back to his shop and brings me back $325 face of silver dimes. And I said, okay, we'll take the gold. We take the silver. You take the gold. I says, you know, I said, all you need from this bullion dealer, I says, $10,000 in order. But I said, your problem is you don't ever have $10,000 on cash on hand. You know, my owner is very well financed, folks. Coin shops have to be well financed to stay in business. We have stock right now. I said this morning in this morning's video about silver supply issue. You might not be seeing that yet. That was just a warning, what I am seeing from our bullion dealer. That's what that warning was up for. If you've not checked that video, please check that one out from this morning. It's coming, folks. It's coming when a bowling dealer is trying to order 10 monster boxes. I'll give a little bit of the video away. 10 monster boxes, and they only send 7 or 6. Sometimes even half the order. There's something going on. He tries to reorder again, and then they get him for another 10. He probably gets 7 or 6. They're not saying all what he's ordering so he can send it to his shops, folks. Something's going around. I don't know what. There is a silver shortage. Call it as you want. There's a still silver shortage. Most of you are not seeing this yet. How long is it going to take to roll out where the online bowling dealers start to shrink and shrink and shrink? Your local coin shops start to shrink and shrink and shrink. I'm only seeing you guys reporting that. The past few videos, you go into your shops, there's no 90% silver. Very few Silver Eagles available. Let me know what you're seeing in the comment section, folks. It's the only way we're going to keep really accurate what's going on. You don't have to put your location. I'd rather you don't put your location. Just say my coin shop didn't have this, my coin shop. That way we can get a generic situation what's going on out there. Location really don't matter at this point of the time, because it's really across the board on everything. Before we move on, check out channel sponsor Pinbacks.com for all your silver, gold, and platinum needs, folks. They're doing a heck of a job. You guys have emailed me. You're very happy with your purchase from Pinbacks. Call them up, folks. Call Michael. Call Brian. If some by chance you don't get Michael or Brian, or they don't answer the phone, try again. They're very busy right now. Let them know that Coin Shop Chris sent you. Thank you, Pinbacks, for sponsoring Coin Shop Chris. Thank you to the viewer out there, because it's not possible without you as well. The girl got, this young girl, she's 28. She's been stacking silver for a couple years now. She got a $1,000 bonus. She was so excited. And her boss said, well, what do you... The boss kind of knew because she's stacking. The boss stacks herself as well. And the boss says, well, you going to go buy silver with this? She says, no, I'm not buying nothing with it. I'm converting. I'm taking your crap money. This is what she told the boss. I'm taking your crap money and putting it into real money, which is silver for me right now. She comes in and gets 2 10-ounce Canadian Royal Mint bars, folks. That is what she did. She has enough for herself, for a little bit of fun for herself, and she got 2 10-ounce Royal Canadian Mint bars. She's very happy that she got the bonus. The restaurant's booming right now. It's a high-skill restaurant, so if people have money, they're still going out to eat right now, folks. A lot of it's done on credit cards now. Keep that in mind. A lot of it's done on credit cards, so these people really have the money to keep going out to eat. Who knows? All right? That's hard to say right there. All I can say, folks, is keep stacking. Yeah, you might see a little bit more silver on my screen today. I love the Jersey Mint bars. I absolutely love them. I love the Canadian Royal Mint bars. I love the Britannia 10-ounce bars. I love anything that's silver, to be honest with you. Silver is number one in my stack. You know, 90% silver, any type of silver, really. They can make these all day long, folks. They're not making 90% silver no more. They're not making 40% silver no more. Stack it as you can, especially if you live in the States. I know we got some Canadian viewers on this channel. They love the 90% silver too. People ask me about the 80% this Canadian silver. Yeah. The closer you live to Canada, or you live in Canada, 80% silver is great for you guys up that way. But where I live so far to the south, most of the time, when we have 80% silver, during the summer months, it don't move. When the Canadians move back down for the winter months, they're grabbing it up. That is what's going on, folks. or the snowbirds that they live closer to Canada or have dual citizenship. They live very close on the border. They're grabbing it up as well. I think if we get into a scenario, though, this is just my train of thought. It may not come out to be play or not, but when we get into a buttable situation, you're really south of the Mason-Dixon line. I don't think Canadian silver is going to be accepted. It might be with some people if they know it, but it's going to be very hard to educate people unless you don't have some kind of book on saying it's 80% silver and stuff like that. The Canadian Maple Leafs, gold Maple Leafs, I'm not worried about those. People know, a lot more people know about those. But the 80% junk silver up there might be a little bit harder. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. It could be the same deal in Canada. You live too far away from the border from the United States. Are those stores up there? Are those people up that far in northern Canada going to accept American 90% silver as well? It's going to be the same thing, I think. I think the closer you live to the border in that situation, I don't think it's going to matter as much. But I could be wrong. That is just what I'm basing that on from what we sell at the shop, folks, during the summer months in 80% silver. We don't sell a lot. Sometimes we get some of it in, and it sits there until the snowbirds or the Canadians start moving back down for the winter months. It just sits on our shelves, sits in a tray. It just don't move. And I'm not talking this, we got a whole bunch of it. That's not what I'm saying here at all. It's very little that we get in. Maybe by the time summer gets over, we got a couple $100 face. And it is gone as soon as they come back. So with that being said, I stack everything else, folks. I don't stack the Canadian 80% silver. I got nothing against it. If I was living in Maine, state of Maine, I'll be stacking it, folks. Me personally, I'll be stacking the heck out of it. Because we're a lot closer up that way. It's just what I'm seeing living in Florida here, what I'm seeing the trend is. Any silver is better than nothing. I agree with that statement, 100%. Stack what you like. People ask me, well, what do I stack? But you guys see, I stack a little bit of everything. But I didn't start it all at one time. I dabbled a little here, I dabbled a little bit here. When March of 23 came around, 9% silver went through the roof. If we all remember that. I started buying 5-ounce generic bars, 10-ounce generic bars, 1-ounce generic bars. Alright, this is the stuff that I was stacking, and I only got one lot of 20 of these. And they're made in America. I think they're from the Highland Mint too. But this is what I started stacking. Alright. I believe I paid around $600 for the lot of 20 here. So I've only done good with these. You got to hold it for a long time, folks. Holding it for a long time. Yes, one of the sleeves was cut open and a silver bar did just drop out of the sleeve. If you heard it, dropped on the floor. I started stacking graded coins, folks, during the March of 2023 time. April of 2023. I'm not stacking no more of graded coins. Prices are too high for me. I did really, really well at the time I was stacking them. I did really well. People were not paying attention to them. So, with myself having a YouTube channel now, I'm going to let you guys know what I'm seeing for changes. So this is a good time. If you're not yet subscribed, come join the party. You're going to be kept informed of the market changes, what I'm seeing. I'm going to keep you updated what's going on at the shop. Anything we hear from Pinbacks that they see changes on, I'm going to bring that to you. Any changes at our Bullion Dealer at Florida shop seeing changes, I'm going to bring it to you. You guys are going to be first. I'm your Boots on the Ground channel. We got, I tell you guys this before, but I'm going to tell you again, I got about 25 different coin shops around the country I talk to on a weekly basis. I work in the coin shop. Number 2, we got a great sponsor, Pinbacks.com. Number 3, how many chances can offer you that, folks? So if you're not yet subscribed, I'm going to ask you one more time to do that. I'm trying to get to the 6,000 subscriber mark. Thank you so much for your support, folks. Yes, every now and then, I will say, donations. Look, I don't do this for any type of donations at all. But if you like to make a donation, there are 2 ways. There's a super thanks in the comment section. Look on the right hand side. You're going to see a little heart with a little money sign. You can donate a few bucks there. If you don't want to do it there, you can use my PayPal link. That will be in the description of every single video. I always say, only if you're able to. I'd rather see you folks put the money towards your own silver and gold. That is what I bring to the table on this channel. None of my information will ever be charged. I'm not going to even charge for a special video, special membership on this channel at all. That's not how I'm going to run this channel. No problem with anybody else that does it that way. That's great. I got no problem. But from my channel, I'm going to keep it free. I'm going to keep it transparent, number 2. And you're going to get the truth on this channel. What more can you ask for? I thank you for your time and watching. If you have stayed tuned through the whole video, type 87 today. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the morning.